Should have had this at the rec center, I
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another session of Truro Town Council. And today being July 10th, 2023, before we get into our order of business, and first item today we'll be dealing with right after a special ceremony is a public hearing. So I mentioned a very special presentation, and we're going to get on with that right now. So I think it's best maybe I'll go down and stand by Lynn, and then we'll proceed from there. I'd like to welcome everyone here too. Good afternoon, Lynn. I'm going to ask you to come up and sit in the mayor's chair, but I don't know if I'd be able to get you. Okay. So, sorry for anybody I might be blocking, but today is a special occasion, and first of all, I'd like to give a little bit of background. And about a week ago, I had a call from our councillor, Alison Graham, in Ward 1 to inform me that Lynn had been the recipient of the Order of Canada, and it was kind of a shock a bit in the sense that on Thursday you were presented with the medal or the honor, and then we went into a long weekend, and it somehow got a little bit lost, and that was a travesty. So we talked a bit and said we got to fix this, okay? Make sure that we get the proper recognition. So today, on behalf of the town of Truro and the Truro Town Council, and also citizens of Truro, I'd like to acknowledge and congratulate Dr. Lynn Jones on receiving the Order of Canada. Now, this award was presented, as I said, on June 30th, 2023, by Her Excellency, the Right Honorable Mary Simon, Governor General of Canada. And to honor Dr. Jones' leadership in the Canadian labor movement and in advancing equity, justice, and human rights in Nova Scotia and abroad. Dr. Jones was born and raised in Truro, has been a lifelong civil and human rights activist and educator, a community archivist, and a community and labor organizer, and an inspiring speaker, and a good friend as well. Can I say that?
You can say that.
Good, thank you. Dr. Jones was one of the 60 members appointed, along with 3 companions and 22 officers. The Order of Canada is one of our country's highest honors and recognizes people all across different sectors of society who made extraordinary and sustained contributions to Canada. So I'd like to, first of all, just read, this is a little pale in comparison to the Order of Canada, but just the same, it's a recognition. On behalf of Truro Town Council, I'd like to acknowledge and congratulate Dr. Lynn Jones on receiving the Order of Canada on June 30th, 2023. Your unwavering leadership in the Canadian labor movement, as well as advancing equity, justice, and human rights, are immeasurable, and to be recognized and celebrated. Warmest congratulations on this prestigious award, signed on this 10th day of July 2023 by Bill Mills, Mayor, Town of Truro. That's me. Paparazzi.
I love flowers. Thank you.
Nice to be made a fuss out once in a while, isn't it? And anyway, I also would like to take this opportunity to welcome to our council chambers today, Lynn Jones. Elle is a poet, journalist, and activist living in Halifax. Elle was Halifax Poet Laureate from 2013 to 2015, and she's a well-known speaker on radio, seen her interviewed on national television, and she makes her rounds on the speaking circuit as well. So Elle, would you like the microphone? Because this is on Eastlake today. We have a viewership in the thousands. You go right ahead.
Good afternoon, peace everybody.
Please.
Good afternoon.
This poem is called Lynn Jones. She was born in an ordinary house in the marsh in Truro, at a time when black people were not meant to grow. Europeans at the top and black people below, they said that's the way that the world ought to go. But none of her family accepted that so. Fighting racism in those times was hardly a joke. In the days when white people, they rode with a rope, born to proud African people, descendant from a war hero, refusing to accept our contributions were zero. More than 7 generations of African Nova Scotians arose, and knowing how history they try to control, she cut from magazines images of pyramids and beautiful black pharaohs, documenting where we're from, so we know where to go, and how we will get there with unshaken soul. Guided by the God who keeps his eyes on the smallest of sparrows, her community is the bow and she is the arrow, fighting to make our limits a little less narrow. The floodwaters we face have never been shallow. We know this world borrows from black women and leaves us in sorrow, crediting men with the movements that bring us tomorrow, too often told to stand aside or inside men's shadows. And yet, justice sings in her right down to her marrow, leading us upwards like Mount Kilimanjaro. Like so many black women before her unknown, when there's ripples in the lake, we know they're the stone. She would say it's community, and she's never alone. But let me remind you of some of the things she has done. Running for office, even though her accolades they stole. She showed black women never settle for a second-class role. She's so often been erased from the narratives told. First black woman in labor executive, work around the globe, chosen to go to South Africa to monitor the vote, like the rising of the tide that lifts up all boats. If there's a struggle, she's there with the chants in her throat. When they try to come at us, she's there with a quote. When they try to sink us, she keeps us afloat. And she shows us our energies we can devote to the struggle for Africans to get what we're owed. Reparations for centuries of carrying the load. Let them know who lit the fire when they see the smoke. Been out here for decades before it was woke. In blizzards, when she's sick, when her body is broke. There's nothing to keep her from doing the most. And us younger black women, we're here taking notes. But this mother of the movement, she never will boast. She'll keep lifting as long as our humanities oppose the shoulders of the community, the spine and the bones. So welcome to the Order of Canada, Dr. Lynn Jones.
I like to add too, she'll put more dip in your hip, more glide in your stride, make your knees freeze and your liver quiver. If you can't take this mess, you got the wrong address. All right, congratulations, Lynn. I'm going to turn you around here because our Lynn resident photographer, Councillor Hinton, wants to take a picture. The wheels locked. No, the wheels are locked. Oh, here we are. Yeah.
No, you
You
go.
got that one?
I
Okay.
think that one's all
All right. There we go. You got this?
right.
All right.
Braxton
Very good.
says, I got this.
Beautiful and congratulations. I'm so
Thank
happy
you.
for you.
All right, congratulations. see the phones are dinging already. Got the publicity. Would you like to say a few words?
Very, very few, because I'm overwhelmed. I've been overwhelmed. But I can't thank everybody enough. This is a real shock, even having all these people here today. I kept saying, listen, it's only 5 to 10 minutes, it's okay. Like, you know, but you came over, this is just beautiful. But I have to say, I'm even more overwhelmed because when Al did her tribute in her poem, I was thinking of my lineage in Truro, in the community and what have you, and then I happened to glance up and there's Mom with us all sitting up there in the room. It's just totally unbelievable. So if there's something that troubles me a lot, it's when people say that I did it all by myself. I got here by myself. You'll never hear me say that because there's so many people that paved the way, many of you in the room tonight, and I recognize and honor all of you. That's all I want to say. Thank the town of Truro because it is my home. It's my hometown through thick and thin. When they offered me the Governor General this award, I was truly shocked. And I had mentioned that it's only in Canada where you challenge the government on a daily basis and do protests and all of this is so much work. And then they turn around and say, we'd like to give you an award for that. So I kind of felt like that too when the town of Truro said, oh, we have to honor you. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm challenging you all the time. But it just goes to show you that, you know, you just keep struggling. You just keep trying to knock down all those walls and barriers. And although you think that it's harmful and that it's not worthy of being done, in the final run of it, it's words like this or different things that tell you, really, you're respected for having done it in the final analysis. So that's my message for today, is that I challenge all of you, particularly because I've spent more time lately in the town of Truro. We've got a lot of things to challenge and stand up for and fight for. And we've kind of laid back a bit. I see it, you see it, and we got to get our energy flowing and get back on the ball, right? So thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate
it. Just one last comment. That's why you and I never had an arm wrestle, because I know you'll win. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for coming today. And it is a pleasure, and it's nice to know that, yes, you are honored by Truro today, all right? And not just today, for all the days after. Thank you.
Photo of everybody? You have to make sure we have.
Right? Well, they have cameras.
Okay, good.
They're all there, so everybody smile, all right?
Allison said this is the most people she's ever seen. What did you say, Allison?
Yeah, since I started on council, I've never seen so many people.
I'll wheel around
Yeah.
and get a picture of it.
I will.
Okay,
Can
there's
we,
everybody.
I'm gonna wheel you around so that you can be in front of this group for a picture. Okay?
I'd love it.
It's
all right. I wasn't going to sit here, but the Queen told me to, so I said,
Are the brakes on or off?
I think they're all right.
Photo shoot day.
no.
Yes.